Okay guys, now let's study the muscles. Guys, there are three muscles in the anterior compartment of arm. Three beautiful muscles, and most of you must be familiar with the first muscle, that is the biceps brachii. Why is it called biceps? Bi is two, ceps is head. Two, it has two heads, so it's called biceps. Why is it called brachii? Because it is the arm. Arm is called brachium, so it's called biceps brachii, the two-headed muscle in the arm. Okay. Guys, we'll be studying it under the headings of origin, insertion, nerve supply, and action. Okay, guys, what is origin of a muscle? Origin of a muscle is the least movable part of a muscle. So, see here, it has two heads now, guys. One is the long head, one is the short head. One is the longer one is the shorter one. See here, this is the short head of biceps. It is coming from the coracoid process of scapula, where specifically the tip of the coracoid process of scapula. There is tip of the coracoid process here. It is coming like this. This is the short head. This is the long head of biceps. Long head of biceps is coming from the supraglenoid tubercle. Why is it called long head? See here, guys. The course of the the biceps short head is only this much. Long head has to go like this and come now, so it is longer. So it's called long head. Okay. It is coming here. These were the two heads of biceps brachii. Short head from the coracoid process, long head from the supraglenoid tubercle. They are both coming and forming a muscle belly. That was the origin. Now there is insertion of the muscle. What is insertion? The most movable part of a muscle. So insertion is the tendon comes like this and gets attached to the radial tuberosity on the radius bone. Then it also forms a bicipital aponeurosis. Aponeurosis is basically sheet. It is also tendon, but it is in the form of sheet. It is going and attaching to ulna bone. Ulna. Okay, ulna and the coronoid process of ulna and ulna, the upper part basically. So it is forming. This is the ulna. This is the radius. So it is going and attaching to the ulna. Okay. So guys, it is crossing two joints here now. It is crossing the shoulder joint here, and it is crossing the elbow joint here. Can it have action on both? Yes, it has action on both. More strong action is on the elbow joint and even on superior radioulnar joint. Guys, see here. What was the nerve supply of the muscle? Nerve supply of the muscle was by the musculocutaneous nerve. Where did we study it? Musculocutaneous nerve is a branch of the lateral cord of brachial plexus. What is its root value? It's C5, C6, C7, isn't it? For biceps, there is more contribution by C5 and C6 muscles. C5 and C6 segment. It has a very interesting clinical significance. We'll study that now. See here, guys. What is the action of the muscle? It's crossing shoulder joint and elbow joint now. So it can have action on arm or forearm. Okay. What is main biceps? Though they show it like this now. So this is they're flexing elbows. So the flexion is the action of biceps. Then there is it is a supinator. See, whenever we are driving a screw, we are in a flexed elbow. It is mainly a supinator of flexed elbow. So it's called screw driving muscle. Then there is flexion of shoulder joint. Why? Because the short head and the long head are taking origin from scapula. Scapula is also forming a shoulder joint. So it is a flexor of shoulder arm, but there are stronger flexors. Then they prevents the upper displacement of humerus. See here, guys. This was the long head now. Long head of biceps now. So see here, it is going over the humerus. So if there is muscle here and the bone is going up, some amount of force will be there now. So it is preventing the upward displacement of humerus. That is one of the functions of biceps. Okay. And what is the clinical importance? Clinical importance is very much, guys. Bicipital aponeurosis. See here, it was forming a bicipital aponeurosis. Now aponeurosis is separating the brachial artery, which is going below it, and the median cubital vein, which is above it. So if you are putting a needle, there is less risk of damaging the artery there. And there is also a perforating branch by the median cubital vein, which goes below the bicipital aponeurosis. It pierces and goes below. So the medial cubital vein is well anchored. You can take blood from it easily. We'll study that when we go to the elbow basically. And see here, guys. What if the biceps is paralyzed? Biceps is a strong supinator of the flexed elbow, isn't it? So if biceps is paralyzed, there will be no supination. If no supination, pronation. Where did we study that? We studied that in the Erb's palsy, isn't it? The arm will be in the forearm will be in the pronated position when there is damage to C5, C6 nerve roots. Then there is biceps jerk. Biceps jerk is a very interesting phenomenon. we'll study that in the physiology when you are going for motor system examination. So if you tap on the biceps tendon, it will cause light flexion like this. Okay, so if that reflex is working, it means the C5 C6 segments are in good condition. See, just by tapping on the tendon, you are checking for the spinal segments, how well they are working. The nervous system is also being examined there. Isn't it interesting? See, that was the importance. So which segment? C5 C6. Why? Because they come from the upper trunk of brachial plexus. Now upper trunk has C5 C6 and it is middle trunk is also forming. So the lateral cord of brachial plexus will have the root value C5 C6 C7, but more contribution by C5 C6 to the biceps muscle.